Hello everyone! We are going to do our very own Cooking with Daceyville show today. We have Miss Lorraine here and she's going to teach you all how to make the Anzac Biscuits recipe that you love from our school canteen. The recipe comes from the school food project. They gave it to us when they helped us change our canteen menu, and we're going to be doing that so you can make your very own Anzac Biscuits at home. Before we start cooking, the first thing we're going to do is wash our hands.
Okay, so we have to put the oven on to 150. There we go. We're all set.
Before we start cooking, we're going to get our baking trays ready. So we've just got a couple of baking trays here and we're going to line them with some baking paper. There's one. And two. All right, Lorraine, what is the first thing we need to do?
So we need to measure flour.
Great, how much flour do we need?
100 grams.
Okay, so you've got some scales there.
And I went over.
A little bit much, so we can just fix that problem by taking some out, keeping an eye on the scales. Oh, almost. Perfect. All right, 100 grams of plain flour.
And 100 grams of brown sugar. Which actually won't be as much as you think. See?
A little bit more again.
Just like home.
Perfect. 100 grams of brown sugar.
And 100 grams of rolled oats.
A massive jug of rolled oats, which is a very own scoop.
This time under.
Nice and gentle. Lovely.
No.
Almost. Fantastic. They all go in together.
Yeah, and 50 grams of coconut.
That's desiccated coconut we're using today. Means it's in nice little teeny tiny parts.
Why is the scale smoking up on me?
Almost. Oh, it's gone a bit funny.
Yes. I have a feeling the battery might be about to die.
That'll do us. This is a really easy recipe, so if you're a little bit over or a little bit under, you don't need to worry too much. Now, we are going to mix them, and you can just use your hands. We've got gloves on because we're in a school canteen, but at home you won't need to put gloves on. It's quite nice to get your hands a bit messy when you're cooking.
And that's really because of the brown sugar. Okay, that
All right,
one's
so
done.
we might show everyone
Oh, sorry.
what it looks like. So we've just got everything all mixed together in the bowl there. Okay, and next we're up to
100 mils of light olive oil. So what I tend to do is do 5 of the tablespoons because they're 20 mils each.
Ah, good trick, Miss Lorraine. So 1 tablespoon is 20 mils, so we're going to do 5 tablespoons. So there's a bit of maths going on with our cooking as well today. Love it. So that's 100 mils of light olive oil.
Okay, and golden syrup is 2 tablespoons. Sorry.
And we mix them together. They're a bit tricky to mix. because the golden syrup can be a bit sticky, but just give it a good old stir as much as you can, get them together.
Please don't fall in. Okay.
Alright, and next.
1.5 tablespoons of boiling water.
Alright, so we've got boiling water. At home you just use your kettle, and you would like an adult to help you with that. So we're going to pop 1.5 tablespoons of boiling water into our gorgeous Daceyville mug there. And then we are going to add 1/2 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, and you've got to watch for it to fizz. And if it doesn't fizz, it's not great.
Like that didn't.
That didn't fizz.
It didn't fizz.
That's upsetting.
It's that short length of time was enough for it not to be boiling anymore.
Okay, so then you have to start again. Okay, I've got 1.5 tablespoons of boiling water, and it's fizzing. The bicarbonate of soda is fizzing, which is very exciting. So we're going to stir that together, and then it will go in the mixture with the golden syrup and the olive oil. And we stir that together. Make sure you get all of your bicarbonate of soda out.
There we go. Now it goes in here. This is the fun part.
So when you're pouring it in, you want to try and get all of the golden syrup out from the jug. And then you can get a little bit messy and mix it all together. And the best way to do this is with your hands.
Definitely. Okay.
I'm just going to show everyone what it looks like. So you can see bits are now sticking together in balls, and that's what we want. We want everything to be nice and wet. If it's a bit too dry, you can add a little bit more water, but maybe just add kind of a teaspoon at a time, because you also don't want it to get too wet.
Okay. There we go. Now measure it.
So you can use a measuring scale to measure them to about 25 grams each ball, or as long as they're pretty even. So you can just grab a tablespoon or a dessert spoon and pop a spoonful in that if that's a bit easier for you. But what you want is to make sure all of them are fairly even.
So that's only 20 grams. Perfect.
Great, so you want them to be about that size there. So a nice little, maybe like a ping pong ball size, and then you pop it. Where do I put it? Just on the tray like that?
On the tray, and then flatten.
How much do I flatten? A lot? Oh. Okay. Flatten it quite a bit, and then it will also spread in the oven a bit. So you don't want to pop them too close together when you're putting them on your tray. They need a nice amount to spread. And you'll probably get about 20 Anzac biscuits out of this.
Perfect.
Beautiful. So we'll keep going. Okay, so we have one tray done. I'm going to keep going with the other ones, but you can see that there are some gaps in between them because there will be a little bit of spreading as they cook. Okay, so we have our 2 trays of Anzac biscuits ready to go. Don't lift them up in case they slide right off. And we're going to pop them in the oven. So the oven is preheated to 150 degrees, and they should take, how long do they cook for, Lorraine?
Usually about 20 minutes, but I put them in, about 18 minutes. I put them in for 9 minutes, check them, turn it around if they need to, and then put them in for another 9 minutes.
Great, and everyone's oven is different. And the great thing about Anzac biscuits is you can smell them as they're cooking. So make sure that you are smelling as you go, and if you can smell them starting to get a little bit burnt, get an adult to help you check them and maybe turn your oven temperature down a bit. So we're going to pop them in the oven.
Action.
Okay, so be very careful when we open the oven, and we're going to pop them in there and there, and then we close the oven up. Make sure that you're using this our timers down. We'll pop a timer on for about 9 minutes. If you don't have a timer, you can use a phone. Your oven might have a timer. Make sure you put the timer somewhere sensible so you can hear it.
Okay, you take them out and just turn them around. They already look yummy. And put them on for another 9 minutes. Okay.
I can smell delicious smells coming out of the oven, which tells me that these are nearly ready. Lorraine, when we pull them out, will they be hard or soft?
Soft.
Okay, and that doesn't mean they're not cooked?
No.
Alright, so these will be a little bit soft when we pull them out, but they'll go hard when they pull. There we go.
We're not.
Picked the right one. Alright, Lorraine, have we got oven mitts or something? Oh,
I usually use the tea
we're going
towel.
to use a tea towel. Make sure you get an adult to help you with this bit. We want everyone to be nice and safe.
There you go.
They look
Perfect.
lovely. They've risen up a bit.
Perfect. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so once they're on your racks, leave them to cool down a bit. You can eat them when they're warm, but not when they're straight out of the oven. And Lorraine, if we can't eat all of them in one sitting, and we certainly don't want to try, how many days can we keep them for?
About 3 days.
3 days, and we store them, how should we store them?
Airtight container.
In an airtight container for about 3 days, and they will be delicious. So happy snacking. Thank you very much, Miss Lorraine, and maybe we'll bring you some more delicious recipes next term.